The tribute collection point looked exactly like what happens when a militaristic alien empire tries to do bureaucracy and somehow makes it more terrifying. The chamber was massive, designed to make people feel small, which was working spectacularly on everyone except the maintenance droid stuck cleaning the corners. Obsidian pillars stretched toward a ceiling lost in shadow. Valorian battle standards hung from the walls like really aggressive curtains. The floor was polished to the kind of shine that said, "We have conquered 17 sectors, and we have the cleaning budget to prove it." 12 children stood in a line. Well, children was a loose term when you were talking about multiple species. There was a Thalaxian juvenile with too many eyes and not enough courage, a Kryn adolescent whose carapace kept clicking nervously, a Vexian youth who was approximately the right age to be traumatized for life, and Liam. Liam was 12, human, and currently wondering if he'd remembered to feed his hamster before getting abducted by aliens. Priorities. The Valorian commander entered like a natural disaster that had learned to walk upright. He was 8 feet of armored fury, scales gleaming like oil on water, with shoulders broad enough to have their own zip code. His helmet had spikes. Not functional spikes. Decorative murder spikes. Fashion spikes. The kind that said, "I have killed so many beings that I have opinions about accessorizing." The other tributes started crying immediately. "I am Commander Wrathis of the Valorian Dominion." The alien boomed, his voice translated through devices that made it sound like thunder having an argument with a bass drum. "You have been selected as tribute from your conquered worlds." Liam raised his hand. Wrathis stared at him. "What?" "Quick question. Is tribute like a tax thing?" "Because my mom already pays taxes. This seems like double taxation." The commander's helmet tilted slightly. Behind him, 2 guards exchanged glances that clearly said, "Did the human child just ask about tax policy?" "Silence. You will kneel. You will pledge servitude to the Dominion, or you will die as an example to your species." "Okay, but that's not really answering my question about kneel." The first tribute knelt immediately. A small Binthari child, shaking so hard her translator kept glitching. She pledged servitude in a voice barely above a whisper. Wrathis nodded, moved on. One by one, they knelt. The Thalaxian cried while kneeling. The Kryn's carapace cracked from stress. The Vexian whispered something that might have been a prayer or might have been begging. Hard to tell with the sobbing. Then Wrathis reached Liam. "Human, kneel." Liam looked at the floor, looked at the commander, smiled. Not a nervous smile, not a brave smile. Just a smile. The kind you give adults when they're being weird and you're not sure what else to do. "Nah, I'm good." The silence that followed could have been weaponized. Wrathis didn't move. The guards didn't move. The other tributes stopped crying long enough to stare at Liam like he'd just announced he could breathe in space. "What?" Wrathis said again, but this time it wasn't a question. It was more like his brain had encountered a fatal error and was trying to reboot. "I said I'm good. Thanks, though." "You refuse?" "I mean, yeah. My knees hurt when I kneel for too long. I've got this thing where they crack really loud. It's embarrassing." Wrathis leaned down, way down, until his helmet was level with Liam's face. "In 3,000 cycles, no tribute has ever refused." "Oh, well, first time for everything, I guess." The commander straightened. His armor clinked. Somewhere behind him, a guard dropped their weapon and frantically scrambled to pick it up. "Your species," Wrathis said slowly, "sends a champion child, one trained from birth to face death without fear." Liam blinked. "What? No. I'm from Cincinnati. We're not really known for champion children. I think we're known for chili, maybe? You do not fear death." "I mean, I'm not thrilled about it. But also, this seems fake. Like, you're really gonna kill a 12-year-old in front of witnesses? That's gonna look bad on the news." "What is news?" "It's... never mind." Wrathis began pacing. His boots hammered against the floor. The other tributes had stopped crying and started watching this exchange like it was the galaxy's most stressful sporting event. "Your defiance," Wrathis announced, "is either supreme courage or supreme stupidity." "Probably the second one," Liam agreed cheerfully. "We shall test this courage." Wrathis pulled a weapon from his belt. It hummed. It glowed. It looked exactly like the kind of thing that could delete you from existence. Kneel now, human whelp. Or what? You'll shoot me? Again, that seems like it's going to create a whole diplomatic incident. Like, Earth is barely in your Dominion thing. We just got here. This is bad PR. What is PR? Public relations. Look, do you have a boss? Because I feel like your boss would be mad if you just started murdering kids on day one of the whole tribute collection thing. Wrathis's weapon hand trembled slightly. Not from fear, from sheer confusion. The other tributes were now staring at Liam with expressions ranging from horror to something approaching awe. The Thalaxian had stopped crying entirely, all 6 eyes fixed on the human child arguing with a commander. You, Wrathis said carefully, question my authority. I'm questioning the logic. There's a difference. Why do you smile? Liam's grin didn't falter. My mom says smiling confuses people who want you to be scared. Is it working? Yes, Wrathis admitted before he could stop himself. He holstered his weapon. The guards looked relieved. Wrathis looked like he was having the worst day of his military career. The human will not kneel, he announced to the room. Very well. If you will not submit, then you will fight. Fight. What? Tomorrow you face the Dominion's champion in the arena of proving. If you survive... Wrathis paused. If you survive, your planet goes free. If you die... He shrugged. Well, you die anyway. Liam considered this. That seems like a really bad deal for me specifically. It is the only deal. Can I negotiate? I'm pretty good at negotiating. One time I convinced my teacher to move a test because I said Mercury was in retrograde. What is Mercury? A planet. Small one. Really hot. Not important right now. Wrathis turned to his guards. Take the human to holding. The others to their assigned quarters. Tomorrow, we learn what Earth truly sent us. A warrior or a fool. As the guards approached, Liam raised his hand again. Yes? Wrathis sighed. Can I get something to eat? I missed lunch because of the whole abduction thing. Fine. Guards, feed the human. Cool. Thanks. Hey, do you guys have pizza here, or... Remove him. As Liam was escorted out, waving goodbye to the other tributes like he was leaving a birthday party, Wrathis stood alone in the chamber. His second-in-command approached carefully. Commander, orders. Research Earth, Wrathis said quietly. Find out what kind of species produces children who smile at death. Sir, we already have files. Read them again. The second-in-command saluted and left. Wrathis stared at the spot where Liam had stood. In 3,000 cycles, no one had ever refused to kneel. In 3,000 cycles, no one had ever questioned his authority while smiling. In 3,000 cycles, Wrathis had never felt quite so much like he'd just made a terrible mistake. Liam, meanwhile, was having a great time. The holding cell was pretty nice, actually. Better than his bedroom. Bigger, anyway. The guards had brought him something that might have been food if you were really generous with the definition. One of the guards, a nervous-looking Torgalian with too many arms and not enough confidence, stood watch by the door. Hey, Liam said. The guard jumped. The human speaks. Yeah, I do that. What's your name? Prisoners do not ask guards for names. I'm Liam. There. Now we've been introduced. Kinda rude not to tell me yours now. The guard shifted uncomfortably. Vrix. Cool name. How long have you worked here, Vrix? Why do you ask? Just making conversation. I talk when I'm nervous. You are nervous? Vrix sounded genuinely surprised. You did not seem nervous when you defied Commander Wrathis. Oh, I was terrified. I'm still terrified. But my mom says if you act like you're not scared, sometimes people believe you. Liam paused. Is it true I have to fight someone tomorrow? The Dominion champion. Yes. Is he big? Very. Has anyone ever beaten him? No. Cool. Cool. That's fine. Everything's fine. Vrix watched the small human child process his imminent death with what appeared to be mild annoyance rather than existential dread. Human Liam, Vrix said. Carefully, Why did you not kneel? Liam shrugged. Honestly, my knees really do hurt when I kneel. I've got this condition, Osgood-Schlatter disease. Sounds fake, but it's real. Makes kneeling suck. You defied the commander. Because of a knee condition. I mean, yeah. Also, the whole thing seems stupid. Why does he need us to kneel? What does that prove? It proves dominance, submission, the natural order. But we're already here, right? You already conquered Earth. We already lost. Making kids kneel is just like extra. It's being a sore winner. Wrathis had no response to that. In another part of the facility, Commander Wrathis was reading Earth's file, reading it again, and realizing with growing horror that humans were either the bravest species in the galaxy or the most dangerously stupid. Tomorrow would reveal which. News traveled fast in the Dominion. By morning, every military outpost within 3 sectors knew about the human child who'd smiled at Commander Wrathis and refused to kneel. The story grew with each retelling. By the time it reached the outer stations, Liam had apparently laughed in the commander's face and challenged him to single combat. Liam had done neither of these things, but facts were less interesting than legend. The Dominion's military scholars descended on Earth's databanks like academics who'd just discovered a new species of deadly spider, which from their perspective, they kind of had. Scholar Thexian pulled up footage of human children engaged in organized combat training. The label on the file read, Youth Soccer League. Look at this, Thexian announced to his colleagues, mandibles clicking excitedly. They begin weapon training at age 5. These small humans are taught to strike a target with their feet while navigating around opponents. Tactical evasion combined with offensive strikes, another scholar breathed, and they call it practice? They found more files. Basketball, football, dodgeball. They throw projectiles at each other, someone whispered. For fun. They train their young to dodge incoming fire. The evidence mounted. Photos of children with scraped knees were labeled ritual scarring. Videos of gym class became mandatory endurance conditioning. School detention was interpreted as discipline training for future warriors. By hour 6, scholar Thexian had published a paper, The Terrifying Implications of Human Adolescent Combat Readiness. The abstract read, Human juveniles undergo systematic warrior training from ages 5 to 18, including tactical team coordination, pain tolerance conditioning, hierarchical dominance structures, and forced physical trials. This explains the fearless behavior observed in tribute subject. Liam, human, age 12, Cincinnati sector. Recommendation, extreme caution when engaging human youth. The paper went viral within military circles. Commander Wrathis read it twice. Then he looked at the surveillance feed of Liam's holding cell. Liam had finally found the bathroom. It had taken 40 minutes and 3 wrong turns, but he'd managed. Small victories. Now he was back in his cell, asking Wrathis questions that no prisoner had ever asked a guard before. So where are you from? Wrathis, standing rigidly by the door, didn't answer immediately. Why do you wish to know? Just curious. You seem cool. Also, I'm bored. I am from Torgal Prime. Nice. What's it like there? Why does this matter? It doesn't really. I'm just making conversation. Liam sat cross-legged on his bunk. Do you have family there? Wrathis' forearms twitched. I have spawn siblings. 3 of them. That's awesome. Are they younger or older? Younger. They are still in the learning pools. Learning pools? That sounds way cooler than school. We just have desks. And somehow, impossibly, Wrathis found himself talking. About Torgal Prime. About his spawn siblings, Trix, Vex, and Little Nix. About how he joined the Dominion military because it paid well and his family needed the credits. An hour passed. Then 2. By hour 3, Wrathis was showing Liam holographic images of his spawn siblings. This is Nix, Wrathis said, his voice carrying actual warmth now. She is the smallest but the most clever. She looks like she's smiling in this one. That is not a smile. That is... Actually, yes. It is similar to smiling. Outside the cell, 2 other guards watched through the observation panel. Is Wrathis showing the prisoner his family photos? One asked. Affirmative. How long has this been happening? 3.7 hours. The human has compromised Wrathis' loyalty in under 4 hours. They stared at each other. Should we report this? Absolutely. The report landed on Commander Wrathis' desk with a title that made him want to retire early. Psychological Warfare Assessment, Human Juvenile Bonding Tactics. He read it again, threw it across the room. He is 12, Wrathis said to no one in particular. His second-in-command retrieved the datapad. Commander, the evidence suggests human children are trained in advanced psychological manipulation. Subject Liam has successfully turned guard Wrathis from loyal soldier to... friend. Friend. The human's word. Wrathis now refers to the prisoner as my friend Liam. Wrathis made a sound like grinding metal. Send Wrathis to reconditioning. Sir, we tried. Wrathis refused to leave his post. Said, and I quote, Liam might need something. Wrathis stood. I will speak to the human myself. When Commander Wrathis entered the holding cell, Liam was teaching Wrathis a hand-clapping game. Pat a cake, baker's man, wait, hold on, you've got 4 hands so we need to modify this. What is happening here? Wrathis boomed. Liam looked up. Oh, hey Commander, we're playing pat-a-cake. Well, trying to. It's harder with 4 hands. Wrathis immediately stood at attention, all 4 arms snapping to his sides. Wrathis pointed at Wrathis. You, leave. But Commander, now! Wrathis left, but not before giving Liam an apologetic look that made Wrathis want to scream into the void. The commander turned to Liam. Tomorrow, you fight Champion Wrathis. He is 8 feet tall. He has never been defeated. He has killed 47 opponents in the arena. Liam blinked. That seems like maybe too many? Like, after 20, shouldn't someone have been like, okay, this is just murder at this point? What? I'm just saying. Weird flex, but okay. Wrathis stared at the small human. The child was sitting cross-legged on his bunk, wearing the same clothes from yesterday, looking like someone had interrupted his weekend plans, rather than informed him of his impending death. You do not fear Wrathis, Wrathis said slowly. I mean, I'm definitely nervous. But also, I haven't met him yet. Maybe he's nice? He is not nice. He is a killing machine. Sure, but like, does he have hobbies? Interests? What does he do when he's not fighting? Wrathis's brain made the error noise again. Why would you ask that? Because maybe we could find common ground. I'm pretty good at making friends. You are not here to make friends. You are here to fight to the death. Right. But those aren't mutually exclusive. I could fight him and be friendly about it. That is not how combat works. Have you tried it, though? Wrathis turned and walked straight into the wall. Not metaphorically. Literally walked into the wall because his brain had temporarily shut down. He recovered, recalibrated, and faced Liam again. Your psychological warfare tactics will not work on Wrathis. I'm not doing psychological warfare, I'm just talking. That is psychological warfare. Is it, though? Wrathis left before he could throw something. Outside, his second-in-command was waiting. Commander? Analysis? The human is either the most advanced warrior I have ever encountered, Wrathis said quietly, or the most dangerously stupid creature in the galaxy. Which do you believe? I have no idea. And that terrifies me. The next morning, they brought Liam to the arena. The arena of proving was exactly what it sounded like. A massive coliseum where the Dominion's warriors tested themselves against each other. The stands held thousands of spectators. The floor was stained with history. Liam stood in the center, looking very small and very human. The crowd roared. The gates opposite Liam began to open. Slowly. Dramatically. With fog effects because the Dominion believed in presentation. Champion Wrathis emerged. He was 8 feet of scaled muscle and accumulated trauma. Scars crisscrossed his body like a roadmap of violence. His eyes were yellow and flat, his claws scraped the stone floor. His entire presence said, "I am very good at my job and my job is murder." The crowd's roar doubled. Liam looked at Xyrath. Xyrath looked at Liam. "Oh," Liam said. "That's a big boy." Then he waved, just waved. Like Xyrath was the mailman or a neighbor or someone you might say hi to. At the grocery store. Xyrath stopped walking. His head tilted. In 47 fights, across 9 years, no one had ever waved at champion Xyrath. In the stands, Commander Wrathis gripped his armrest hard enough to dent it, and Liam smiled. Again. The arena announcer's voice boomed across the Coliseum. "Let the trial begin," champion Xyrath charged. 8 feet of scarred muscle and accumulated rage accelerated across the arena floor like a freight train that had personally been insulted. The ground shook. The crowd roared. This was the part where the tribute died quickly if they were lucky, slowly if they weren't. Liam dove sideways. Barely. His shoulder hit the ground hard. He rolled, scraped his elbow, and ended up sprawled on his butt in the dust. The crowd went silent. Not the excited silence before something dramatic. The confused silence when the script goes wrong. Liam looked at his bleeding elbow. Looked at Xyrath, who had skidded to a stop and was turning around. "Okay, wow. You're fast for a big guy. Good for you." Xyrath's head tilted. His yellow eyes narrowed. No one had ever complimented him before. In the VIP observation box, military analysts were furiously taking notes. "Note the tactical retreat," one scholar said, mandibles clicking rapidly. "The human deliberately falls to study the champion's momentum and turning radius." "Brilliant," another agreed. "And the verbal component. You're fast for a big guy. Psychological disruption, making the champion question his speed advantage." The human called him big guy. That's clearly establishing dominance through casual terminology. In the arena, Liam scrambled to his feet as Xyrath charged again. "Time out!" Liam yelled, diving behind a pillar. "Can we do timeouts?" Xyrath's claws gouged the stone where Liam had been standing. "Tactical use of environmental cover," an analyst noted. "The time-out request, psychological warfare, attempting to establish human rules of engagement." What was actually happening? Liam was terrified and trying very hard not to cry in front of several thousand aliens. He pressed his back against the pillar, breathing hard. "Hey, big guy. You okay? You seem really angry." Xyrath circled the pillar slowly. "Did someone upset you today? Because you're taking this very personally and we literally just met." The champion paused mid-step. "Like, I get it. Bad day. We all have them. But maybe we could talk about it instead of the whole murder thing?" Xyrath's claws scraped stone. He moved around the pillar. Liam moved too, keeping it between them. "Do you need water? You're breathing really hard. That's a lot of cardio. Cardio's rough." The champion stopped circling. "Is your armor too tight? My backpack gets uncomfortable too when the straps are wrong. We could adjust it? I'm pretty good with straps." Xyrath made a sound. Not a roar. Not a growl. Something between confusion and something else. Something he didn't have a word for. He stopped moving. Entirely. Liam peeked around the pillar. "You okay there, buddy?" The crowd was losing its collective mind. What is happening? Is this part of the trial? Why isn't the human dead yet? Xyrath stood motionless in the center of the arena. His massive chest heaved. His claws flexed and unflexed. His eyes were still locked on Liam, but the flatness was gone. Something else was there now. Confusion, maybe. Liam stepped out from behind the pillar, slowly, hands visible. "You don't really want to hurt me, do you?" Xyrath's mouth opened, closed, opened again. He made a sound, high-pitched, uncertain, almost like a chirp. "Yeah," Liam said softly. "I didn't think so." He walked closer. The crowd collectively held its breath. "This whole thing is stupid anyway," Liam continued, his voice gentle. "They make you fight people you don't even know. That sucks. I bet you don't even get paid that well." Xyrath sat down. Just sat. Like a dog. Like something that had been carrying a weight for too long and finally had permission to put it down. Liam sat down too, cross-legged, in the dust, 3 feet from a creature that had killed 47 beings. "I'm Liam," he said. Xyrath made another chirping sound, softer this time. "Nice to meet you, Xyrath." The arena exploded into chaos. "The human has conquered the champion without violence. It's a dominance display." "He turned our warrior into a pet." Commander Wrathis stood so abruptly, he knocked over his chair. "What is happening?" In the lower champion boxes, 5 other Dominion champions were watching. They'd never seen Xyrath look peaceful. Champion Krath, a 7-foot insectoid warrior, stood. "I must investigate this." "As must I," said Champion Vexa, whose species didn't even have a word for mercy. One by one they moved toward the arena entrance. The guards tried to stop them. The champions walked through the guards like they weren't there. The arena gates opened again. Liam looked up. "Oh no!" 6 massive warriors entered the arena. The crowd's panic doubled. But the champions weren't approaching Liam with aggression. They were approaching with curiosity, like cats investigating a new sound. They formed a semicircle around Liam and Xyrath. Liam slowly stood up. "Hi everyone, this is a lot." Champion Krath tilted his head. "You speak to Xyrath," he responds. "How?" "I just talked to him, asked if he was okay." "We do not understand this concept." "Okay. Like, fine. Good. Not actively suffering." The champions looked at each other. Several of them sat down, mimicking Xyrath. "You may speak more," Vexa said. "We wish to understand." And somehow, impossibly, Liam found himself sitting in a circle with 7 of the galaxy's most dangerous warriors, explaining the concept of feelings. "So, sometimes people are mean because they're sad," Liam said. "Not because they actually want to hurt you. They're just dealing with stuff." "Stuff?" Krath repeated. "Problems. Issues. Like, maybe nobody ever asked how their day was. Maybe they're tired. Maybe their armor really is too tight, and they've been uncomfortable for years, but didn't want to say anything." Xyrath made an agreeable chirping sound. "See? Xyrath gets it." In the observation box, the military analysts had stopped taking notes. They were just staring. "This is impossible," one whispered. "The human has created a therapy circle," another said. "With our champions. Our champions." The Supreme General of the Valorian Dominion descended from his private box. General Korthax was 10 feet of military tradition and mounting fury. He was the warrior who had conquered 15 sectors. He did not tolerate chaos. He did not tolerate disobedience. And he definitely did not tolerate his champions sitting in a circle with a human child like it was some kind of support group. He strode into the arena. "What sorcery is this?" Liam looked up. "Sorcery? Dude, I'm 12. I'm just talking to them." "Silence!" Korthax pulled a plasma weapon from his belt. "You will teach us this power. You will tell us how you have compromised our warriors." "I didn't compromise anyone. I just asked if they were okay." "Lies!" Korthax aimed the weapon at Liam. Champion Xyrath stood, slowly, deliberately. He positioned himself between the general and Liam. The other champions stood too, forming a wall, a living barrier of scaled muscle and accumulated trauma now protecting the small human who'd asked them if they were okay. "Stand down," Korthax commanded. The champions didn't move. "That is an order." Xyrath chirped. It wasn't a sound of aggression. It was a sound of refusal. "You would defy me?" Korthax's voice dropped to something dangerous. "For this child?" "His name is Liam," Xyrath said, his voice rusty from disuse but clear enough. "And yes." The arena went absolutely silent. Champion Xyrath, who hadn't spoken in 6 years, had just used words. To protect a human, to defy a general. Korthax stared at his weapon, at the champions, at Liam, who was peeking around Xyrath's massive leg with an expression that said, "I don't know how this happened either." The general lowered his weapon slowly. "The human has turned our weapons against us." "I really didn't mean to," Liam offered. Korthax looked at Commander Wrathis in the observation box. We need to talk. Now. As guards flooded the arena, Liam sat back down in the dust. The champions sat with him, and somewhere in the Dominion's military archives, someone updated Earth's file with a single note. Species classification, extreme threat. Reason, weaponized friendship. The emergency council meeting had been going for 6 hours, and nobody was happy about it. We cannot kill the human, General Korthax said for the 15th time. Our champions will not allow it. We cannot release the human, Commander Wrathis added. He is clearly a strategic weapon. A weapon! Scholar Thexian's mandibles clicked frantically. Have you read my latest paper? Human pack bonding, a weapon of mass domestication. They don't conquer with force. They conquer with friendship. That's ridiculous, someone muttered. Is it? Thexian pulled up footage of the arena. Observe. 7 champions, sitting in a circle, talking about feelings. Silence. They've turned our warriors into therapy patients, Wrathis said quietly. Meanwhile, 3 levels below, Liam was teaching the champions rock, paper, scissors. Okay, so rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock, he explained. Xyrath's massive claw formed something approximating a fist. Rock? Perfect. Now Vexa, you try. Vexa made scissors. Xyrath made rock. I have crushed your scissors, Xyrath declared. Best 2 out of 3, Vexa growled. They were deeply invested in this ancient human combat strategy. Vrix arrived with food. Actual human food, which had taken him 4 hours and 3 panic attacks to locate. Liam, I brought sustenance. Thanks, Vrix. You're the best. The champions formed a protective circle around Liam. No one else was getting near their human. Earth's diplomatic shuttle arrived with the kind of panic usually reserved for natural disasters. Ambassador Patricia Whitfield stormed into the Dominion facility expecting carnage. What she found was Liam having a picnic with 7 of the galaxy's most feared warriors. They were eating, laughing. Xyrath was showing everyone a hologram of his homeworld. What did you do? The ambassador shrieked. Liam looked up, mouth full of sandwich. Made friends? Was I not supposed to make friends? You were supposed to survive. Not this. This is nice, though. Everyone's really cool once you get to know them. The ambassador turned to General Korthax, who'd arrived with Commander Wrathis. Explain. Now. The champions have claimed the human as pack, Korthax said stiffly. According to Dominion law, pack bonds are sacred, unbreakable. They adopted him? We did not intend. You adopted a human child into your warrior culture? It was an accident. Wrathis stepped forward. We propose a solution. The human becomes an honorary member of the Dominion. He returns to Earth but maintains his bond with the champions. Everyone wins. Absolutely not. Do I get a cool sword? Liam asked. Xyrath nodded enthusiastically. I'm in. Liam. Ambassador. They said I get a sword. I've always wanted a sword. And that was how Earth accidentally integrated with the Valorian Dominion. 6 months later, everything had changed. Liam lived on Earth. Technically. He commuted to Dominion space on weekends via shuttle. The champions visited him regularly, which terrified his neighbors but thrilled the local news. The Dominion had stopped conquering planets. Not officially. Officially, they were reassessing strategic priorities. Unofficially, Liam had said it was mean, and the champions couldn't handle disappointing him. We were going to invade Sector 19, Xyrath explained during one visit. And? Liam asked. You said conquest was not cool. So we didn't. General Korthax, watching from a distance, felt something he hadn't felt in decades. A headache. The Dominion had accidentally become a peacekeeping force, because a 12-year-old guilt-tripped them. Other alien species noticed. The Crothian Empire requested human diplomatic consultants. The Vexarian Collective asked if Earth could send more children. The Thalaxian Union offered trade agreements if humans would just do that friendship thing. Earth's government issued a statement. Please stop weaponizing our children's emotional intelligence. Nobody listened. A reporter caught up with Liam at school 6 months after the arena incident. How did you stop the most feared military force in the galaxy? Liam shrugged. I just talked to them? They were really sad and angry. Nobody ever asked what was wrong. So empathy saved the galaxy? I guess. I mean, everyone's less scary when you know their favorite food. Xyrath loves these crunchy beetle things. They're super gross, but he gets so happy when he eats them. The interview went viral. 3 alien species filed formal requests for human friendship. Monday morning, Earth, regular school. Liam sat in homeroom while his classmates asked about his weekend. Hung out with friends, played video games. He didn't mention the friends were 8-foot warrior aliens. Didn't mention they were currently orbiting Earth in a battlecruiser. Didn't mention they'd pledged eternal protection to humanity because he'd asked if they were okay. His phone buzzed. Text from Vrix. Liam, the Dominion needs your help. The Crothian Empire refuses peace talks. Liam sighed, typed back, I really need to finish my homework first. Vrix, the galaxy's fate hangs in the balance. Liam, so does my math grade. Tell them I'll call after dinner. He put his phone away. The teacher was talking about the Revolutionary War. Something about how wars changed history. Liam smiled. He'd changed history too. Just not with war. With questions like, are you okay? And do you need water? And what's your favorite food? Turned out those questions were more powerful than any weapon. Who knew? Earth had accidentally conquered the galaxy's most powerful military force. And they'd done it with a 12-year-old, a smile, and the kind of aggressive niceness that only humans could weaponize. The galaxy would never be the same. Mostly because half the Dominion warriors now had Liam's friends embroidered on their battle armor. And because somewhere in the Dominion archives, there was a classified file labeled, Humans, Threat Level Revised to Catastrophic. Not because they are violent, because they make us care about things, and that is far more dangerous.